The problem with having a plan is that if it doesn't go to plan, you're upset. So just never ever have a plan, and then wherever you end up, you're happy with. So I'm happy. I have a red 57 Chevy. Well, welcome to D's Beach Shop. I'm Dan. Today's video actually started yesterday. So hopefully you've been following around a little bit on this 57 Chevy convertible, which I've cobbled together out of a four-door. We ended up using El Cheapo tractor paint to paint the thing, and the paint didn't go down as well as I was hoping. Story of my life. I ended up buffing, or wet sanding and buffing the deck lid, and brought it back to a presentable finish, but the amount of time involved in that just, it was boring, and I don't like doing that stuff. So I thought, wow, you know what, maybe I can just scuff it down and re-clear it. Now that's where I think we might hurt a few feelings on the internet today. This being a single stage enamel paint, everywhere you look, well, a lot of places you look, people tell you, oh, you can't put clear coat over this, it'll screw up, it'll do this, it'll do that. And that's fine. They do the internet, and it's kind of a 50-50 mix. Now I think in the research I've done, which is very small, the main issue as to putting a clear coat over an enamel paint job or single stage paint job is, I guess, all the vapors and gases and whatnot are still trying to escape, and that will screw up your clear coat, which is a possibility. Now the flip side is everyone was saying this implement paint didn't have a UV protection, which I find hard to believe, but it must be true. The internet, the comment section never lies. So I thought, well, a little bit of clear coat would give it some UV protection, all that stuff as well. It would bring back all the luster, it would save me a bunch of time. So that's, well, I'll show you. This is what I thought we were going to do today. Now, again, when I say it started yesterday, it's because I've started sanding. Now, I did a few test spots. This is the polish, which still needs a wax and all that. We could probably get close to this. I don't know if we could actually accomplish it, but this is just scuffed down in 800 and fired on some clear. Turned out pretty good. I did the top of the door. Same thing, turned out pretty good. And then I did put my hand in it because I'm an idiot. I did the front of the fender. Also did very well. And I did the hood. So I just want to do a bunch of different spots and see what it would look like, see what would show through for sanding scratches. I actually went with 600 on this one, I think. And you can see the scratches, so that's not great. Now, this clear, I will be sanding it all off. I do believe that you don't want to just be layering and layering and layering. So I want to see what it's going to look like. We'll scuff it down until it's down to the base color and go from there. So that's what my day is going to look like. Now, as you can see, I've got the fender kind of dialed, but this is what we're working with. We're sanding out this orange peel. So I don't know how much of the actual work I'll show because it is extremely boring, but I will do a few little test passes and stuff. So the idea is to get all this junk out and make it look like it's a flat, well, red oxide. This is going to be a pretty cheap endeavor. I ended up picking up some, it's literally called El Cheapo, I believe. Clear coat. I think this was 69 bucks for the kit or something like that. So in my mind, spending I don't know how many hours trying to buff this back to a subpar paint job with no UV protection versus bringing the whole thing down. I said I might do it in the 600 and then bring it back with 800 or 1000 doing some wet sanding. I think that'll be the easy way to do it. Convince Murray to come over maybe if he has some time. And then lay down 100 bucks for the product on top. Then we can wet sand and polish the clear, which would be much, much easier down the road, make it look nice. That's what we're doing. Hopefully you want to watch it. And if the paint goes all to crap after, I guess the risk is clear coat over top of this. It can wrinkle and do all sorts of goofy things, but we got to find out for ourselves. Well, we have fast forwarded a small amount. So I hit the whole car with some, well, 600 in some of the rough spots. And then, that was kind of ugly. And I was, wearing my mask and all that. This is ugly paint to work with. It's very hard. Then I switched over to some 800 wet. And I started kind of going over the car. Now, I'm being very cautious about edges. So I haven't even really done them yet. We're just kind of focusing on the bigger sections. And it's coming out pretty good. Now, I think what we're going to do, I actually am not quite done with the 800, but We're gonna do 800, then we're gonna do 1000, and we're gonna do it wet to kind of keep all the dust and all that kind of crap down. Now, I have burned through in a few spots. There's no bones about it. So if you ever see this thing in a car show, right there, you can point it out to me. And I don't know, around the quarters and stuff like that. We've been sanding out runs with mixed results, I guess. Where did I have one? Right at the front here. Oh, it might be still wet. In here was a run. So we got it sanded down. Now the run appears to be, they look a little different when you're sanding them. I can't find one now, and they were everywhere before. Oh, right here. Of course I got it wet. So I guess we'll see. All right, there's perfect. I don't know, I guess we'll see what happens when we put some clear coat on it. But as I kept going in the run, I worry I'm taking too much paint off because I'm going to burn through. So we're at the as good as it's going to get. There's a lot of paint on the car, but you catch an edge or you do stuff. Little bits, like, I mean, the mirror will cover that, but we are just on the verge. Trim will cover that. But we're just right on the verge of, I'm worried I'm going to start running out of paint. And already I have the fear of, in the sun, the paint's going to be so thin you'll be able to see the bodywork behind it. But whatever. If that's the case, you'll see another video of me scratching it all down and repainting it yet again, which would be fun. I wish I could learn, well, without just making a bunch of mistakes, but that's just not my style. No point changing now. So we'll set the camera up. I'm going to crank some tunes. We'll go through and do a pile of wet sanding, tools of the trade, you know, miscellaneous blocks, bucket of water. I had other blocks. Oh, you know, just that, going over it, making it look nice. I haven't touched the deck lid yet. It's already been polished and whatnot, so we'll just take that right to 1000, and I still have to do the fins. Those haven't been touched at all. They're still in ugly original paint. But otherwise, I think we're doing pretty good. I'm going to start the front and just do kind of one panel at a time, as good as it's going to be, as good as I'm going to make it. And then, you know, work on a fender, work on a door, work on a quarter, and kind of work my way around, and we'll see if I have enough time tonight to put in clear coat, or if that will be a tomorrow thing. But let's start sanding. Well, we got the whole car kind of rubbed down now. I'm hoping as it goes on, like, it's wet. That'll be what it looks like. Feels okay. You know what? There's some rub through spots. I don't know what it'll show with that. That was one, and I noticed one on the side. Right there, right in square dab in the middle. There's a little bit showing through. But I mean, what are we gonna do? It is what it is. So the fact that we're starting to kind of burn through on some of the center of the panels makes me think it's as good as it's going to be. You know, we're at the, it'll get smoother, but the paint will become translucent. And I mean, look at all the paint we've taken off this thing. So it's pretty good. I haven't done, in between the little, whatever those little vent looking fake things, I haven't done around the bottom of the headlights, but that's not too big of a deal. And I haven't done the back of the fins, but it's lunchtime, take a break, do that, fresh bucket of water, have to wash this thing down, and we got a pile of cleanup to do. But I think we're at the point of no return, where the paint's going to go on, or the clear is going to go on, and whatever happens, happens. So it should be good. Worst case, it'll look like it's a car that was left in a barn. We tried to polish it the best we could, but there's not much paint left on it, right? That's the problem with having a plan, is that if it doesn't go to plan, you're upset. So just never ever have a plan, and then wherever you end up, you're happy with. So I'm happy. I have a red 57 Chevy. Do you? So, the car's all wet. It's looking pretty good. Now, there's one spot I'm not happy with, and then we have to do something with it. Now, we've burnt through there and there. Everything else is decent and livable. There's a few little spots here and there. Actually, right there while we're at it. So I think what I might do is just blow that in. I don't know if I should do, like, here's pretty easy. I'll just kind of do here down. No big deal. The trim will cut it. I don't know if I should mess with the fender or just leave it. If I should just give it a quick little blow in and then sand it, which ultimately, I kind of think since we're going to wet sand it, I don't know if I should redo the whole fender or not, because I don't really want to sand the whole fender. So we're going to let this dry a little bit while I contemplate, but I think I might just do the wheel arch, sand it, and then clear coat. It'll blend its way in, and it'll be just fine, or fine enough. Here's my genius new plan. So I've masked where the trim will go, so I'll blow that in with some new paint. We'll leave the top, whatever. We're going to sand it, but at least if there is a line, it'll be behind the trim. We're not going to touch the door. And then same thing here. I put a little line there. We'll just kind of blow down there, and then if it's, there's a difference, the trim will hide it. We'll just open the door a little bit when we're doing the back. We'll close it when we're doing the front. Mint. So I just got to wipe this down real quick, and yeah, we should be pretty much good to go. So I'll see you with the gun. All right, well, we got some paint in the gun. I think we'll just do kind of one coat, see what happens. We'll do the bleed through, then we'll do the whole thing. Damn it, my tire cover fell off. All right, call good. We'll just let that set for a minute real quick. Happy back here. You know what I probably should have done is given just the spots, and I'll come back and go over it. So I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to give this another quick go where it bled through. We'll give her 20 minutes, and I'll just put one quick coat on and be done with it. Okay, we should be good to go. So I don't know if I said it or not, I actually I mixed this paint up. I got fast reducer or whatever, so that's step one. And then okay, and I mixed it with less reducer. We have the activator in it, so I'm hoping I should be able to work on this tomorrow. At least that's the plan. Doke. There we go. I'm calling her done for now. I'll come back later. We'll go over it, let the heater go and do its thing, and then hope for the best later on today and tomorrow. Movie magic, next day. So we got the fender and quarter. I wet sand them all down, so they're pretty much good to go. You can see the line a little bit. I probably could have thinned it out, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's going to be covered with trim. Back here looked all fine. I think it'll look okay as far as I'm concerned. I did go over just a few spots where I was a little concerned about like tops of the doors and stuff like that, re-wet sanded. But, you know, I've said it before, we're right on that cusp of running out of paint on the car, so how much sanding can you possibly do? I mean, we're going to be into bare metal here right away. So, we're calling it. What I'm going to do, we're going to let this dry, do a little bit of cleaning up. I got to run to the store. I'm going to get some fine Scotch-Brite pads, or yeah, whatever they're called there. We'll do the whole car, and then we'll tack rag it, mask it, and fire on some clear. Oh man, touch my face. So that's the plan. So we'll see you guys. Well, we'll see when it's masked. Let's be honest. How much of this can you possibly watch? We want to see the clear go on. That's the fun part. Let's jump right to that. Okay, we got Expert Mur ready. We're using his gun, and I guess we'll just see what happens. I'm gonna start on this side. So I get the whole front clip out of one shot. Alright. Air for So, it's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm not the problem, it's my shitty spray gun. We used Mur's fancy one, it worked great. So, feel pretty good. Mur's just going through and checking us a little bit with the light. Now, unfortunately, we only got one coat on, we got to put a second. And that's where I think we'll have runs or whatever, but the paint hasn't screwed up or reacted with, or the clear hasn't reacted with the paint, which is good. A few dry spots here and there, but overall, if I could accomplish this with just another coat, I think we're really into figuring it out. But that gun, it really atomizes the paint, and it makes it so friggin' hard to see in here. So, I guess it is what it is. And it's cold out today, so we can't have the doors open. Got my little fan running, but it can't keep up. So, we'll let this sit for another kind of 10 minutes or so. Got the paint mixed, and we'll lay it down, but the color sure looks good. Okay, so the new plan, we're going to try and do the hood, the fender, and the other half of the hood and fender, and then go back and forth, door to door, quarter to quarter, so we ended up, it was a little dry here by the time we were trying to blend it in. Right? We're good. And I missed part of the windshield frame, which is kind of irrelevant.
Spray it in the air before you... Okay. you got left?
I'm gonna mix a little bit more up. I don't think that's enough to do the quarter.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Do the quarter and then see what you need to put the back.
Well, I'm blown away with how good it came out. So the paint hasn't reacted with the clear coat yet. So fingers crossed. But Merv seems to think it's fine. So Merv's big help finding all the hard to see spots. I gotta buy me a fancy paint gun, I think, because that clearly make a difference. So we're just gonna unmask it real quick, just the easy bits here and there, kind of fold the stuff into the center. And I'm not gonna touch it for a couple hours. I actually found a set of bucket seats, which I really appreciate getting. And then I'll come back later tonight. So you wanna get that side? Okie doke. Don't use your fat fingers on anything. This is like the... I feel like I'm more stressed out about this than I was over any exam I ever failed in my life. You know, I really cared about school and all that. This is the most important.
and your high school diploma shows it.
If I tried this hard at almost anything else, I'd have been successful. Wow. Red 57 Chevy.
Every boy's dream, a red 57 Chevy.
I didn't know it was mine until I had one. Well, until I built one. Well, look at all that work. It turned out flippin' fantastic. Now, a lot of people had concerns, I guess, for clear coat over this paint I did and all that. You know what? It's going to be what it's going to be. The paint is now clearly hard. There's some junk in the paint, which once it gets, nice, really set up, we can polish it all out and do all that. But hey, for a garage paint job, I'm happy with it. So we'll see. I don't know, people are saying the paint might react, it might yellow, it might do this, it might do that. At the end of the day, today we have a nice shiny red 57 Chevy convertible, which I'm very happy with. So the next couple of videos will be interior in, done, chrome on. I have pretty rough stainless on this thing and bumpers and all that, but we'll get that taken care of. I have a different set of wheels I want to put on this thing. We'll put these back in the basement. And I just got back from picking these up, so I don't know what these are. Some sort of Oldsmobile or something like that. I don't know. They have some sort of, they had headrests at them, but we'll dye those black and they'll fit just fine in here. So I'm very excited. This turned out way better than I thought. It was a lot of work, a lot of work. But we're 70 or 80 bucks into red paint. The clear coat being another 60 or whatever it was. So for less than $200 for the materials, all of my sanity and a bunch of sandpaper, we have a respectable daily driver 57 Chevy ragtop. As far as I'm concerned, be great. Glass I have to track down, be calling around for that tomorrow, but we should have this thing together on these new wheels with the interior in and all that end of the week. Weather's supposed to be finally turning. It should be good. Man, look at this thing. Pretty good. Now make sure you comment how I didn't do the bodywork here and I'm an idiot and why wouldn't I do that. So I forgot about it, but I'll cover it up with all the fine trim. I think the only trim I'm missing is around here, and obviously we don't have any of the convertible trim because that stuff's expensive, but we painted it red, so it'll be just fine. Leave me anything in the comments. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I do. I gotta say, I know I'm a bit of a hack, but I'm actually pretty proud of myself on this one. Maybe we're turning a new leaf. I'm gonna start painting cars. This one's getting painted, the Nomad's getting painted. This thing I've done right, wrong, or otherwise. I touched every part of this car, from the paint to the interior to the chassis to the driveline. I don't know, somebody said for that. Pretty proud of it. So thanks for watching. Click the subscribe button below if you don't mind. I'd really appreciate it if you're not already subscribed to the channel. It makes a world of difference for myself. And I'll see you in a couple of days, and this thing will actually be a running, driving car again.